Hey, this is Jay McCallum from Core Balance Therapy. We've been away from our Friday live videos for a little while, and we wanted to get back to talking about things that we think are interesting. And seeing as it's beautiful and springtime and almost summertime, we thought we'd talk about something that tends to bother runners fairly often, and that's plantar fasciitis. And so I wanted to talk today about what it is and how it behaves, and then we'll have a couple more videos talking about how we can treat it. So let me start with the symptoms that people with plantar fasciitis tend to report. The experience they have is pain that is usually fairly localized to the heel or sort of just in front of the heel bone, and it is classically a fairly nasty pain upon first arising and putting the foot down. Tends to loosen up with some walking and some loosening, but then there's this sort of other shape of the curve where if I walk or move around very much, it starts to build again. So it has this bad in the morning, loosens with some activity, but worsens with more activity pattern. Needs to be evaluated because there are some other conditions that can act like that, but that is the typical pattern. So, so what exactly is this thing? I'm going to draw a very clever picture of a foot here. So there's the leg bone, and there's the forefoot, toes, and heel. And so as I put weight down upon the foot, it tends to sort of spread this surface out. So we have a structure that runs from the heel forward and to the toes. And so as I put weight down on the foot, it tensions this structure. And as the toes are pulled back, sort of in late stances that push off while I'm walking or running, it adds tension to that structure so that the foot is capable of being relatively flexible. When the toes are down, it becomes a stiffer structure when the toes are up, so I have a rigid structure to push off of. And so what happens, so this structure is the plantar fascia, and what happens with plantar fasciitis is at its attachment point into the heel bone, there's some damage to it. And the interesting thing is that they're really sort of moving away from even calling it plantar fasciitis now, because it doesn't have a very normal inflammatory character to it. So it has, when biopsied, it doesn't look like normal inflammation. It looks like this sort of parts of inflammation. Some of the chemicals that are associated with inflammation are present in this tissue, but really what it looks like is chronically damaged tissue. And in this respect, it's a lot like other forms of chronic tendon pain, like chronic anterior knee pain or pain like tennis elbow kinds of things. What we have basically is a structure that has been loaded faster than it can adapt and has sustained some damage and has become very sensitive to both tension loading and this is troublesome with this, it does not like to be compressed, and of course we would like to stand and walk on our feet, so that is a challenge. So we'll talk more about how we treat this, but broadly what we will try to do is, first step is how do we get it to calm down and hurt less, and then the second part is how do we stimulate it to become a more robust structure and more load tolerant and sort of build it back up again. So stick with us and we'll get some more videos posted over the next few weeks and tell you more about plantar fasciitis. And if you just can't wait and you need to learn more right away, then give us a call and talk to us, and we'd be happy to help you out if you're having pain in your heel. Thank you.